Yes, ever since I've moved to itch.io, I've found infinitely many more times the amount of success than I ever did on Roblox's Plugin Marketplace. If I invest time into any plugins, they're going to be up on itch. If you want my latest work, it's going to be up on itch. If you want to support me, you're going to be doing it through itch. Roblox is simply not a worthwhile equation.
Thank you very much for that, Dan. Hi there, my name is ExperiencersInternational, and today I'm going to talk about why exactly the plugin marketplace sucks. There's been many issues that have been affecting developers with this program, but it's been mostly happening behind closed doors. I've had access to the program for about 7 months at this point, although I was invited around when I started enjoying Nintendo stuff again, and I was in a group of a few hundred people who tested the ability to charge Robux for plugins out, and I will be completely honest, this program needs changes. What you saw before the intro rolled was a video by fellow creator Eltobe, who has definitely made way better plugins than me, who is simply fed up by the way Roblox treats developers by the lack of pay, and is therefore moving to itch.io. Let's dig into this. Let's take one of Eltobe's plugins, In Command. To you, it may seem like you're spending roughly $1.56, based on 80 Robux costing $1, but in reality, the developer is only getting back around 28 cents. Hang on, let's pause here to explain what a plugin even is. A plugin is essentially like an application that integrates into Roblox Studio to add some features. They can be free, or they can cost from 100 Robux. For example, I believe the plugin that we're talking about allows a user to have script templates. I don't own it, so I might be wrong, which saves time having to write some scripts. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. How does that work out as 28 cents exactly? First, we're going to calculate the 30% Roblox tax that all of us have to go through. That works out to around $1.09. Next, we move on to the developer exchange, which pays $105 for 30k Robux. That's roughly $300 when buying it, which means that it takes 65%. Putting this figure of $1.09 in now turns out to be 38 cents. But wait, unless you want to commit tax evasion, you also must pay the government some money. For example, the IRS takes 30% of my YouTube earnings from me. Despite being a UK citizen, I don't know how that works. Let's put this 30% fee on top of the 38 cents that we have. This then turns out to 27 cents. This is abysmally low, especially when a plugin is useful. For developers, this ends up meaning that they only get 17.15% of their money. Meanwhile, itch charges absolutely nothing. All you have to pay is your taxes to the government, and fees incurred when exchanging through PayPal or Stripe. It's unlikely that you would put through just a single transaction at one time to be exchanged, but let's just use it as an example. PayPal charges a 30 cents fee, plus 2.9% of the amount. If my math is correct, it works out to around $1.22. Then, all we need to do is pay our taxes to the government, and this works out at 85 cents. This is literally 3x more money, and even then, you could probably get more than this when exchanging more money at once. Plus, developers can set a minimum price, and people can pay above that, which is great if someone finds your plugin really useful. I won't give you a percentage total for this, since it's inconsistent with the amount that you earn, but I think you can see sufficiently that this is way better. For what it is, I think Roblox should at least take away the initial 30% tax, which would at least give 10 extra cents in this case, but it's unfortunately probably the fairest way to do this, without doing dramatic changes to the payment system. I think taking off this 30% is better than nothing, considering I can count on one hand what Roblox has done for the program in the past year. Made the ability to sell stuff to ID or phone verified users, added thumbnails, forced developers to update their plugins overnight due to update notification systems, and gave us 2 fancy new UIs which nobody's asked for. This 30% is clearly being reinvested back into the program, right everyone? Let's start with the numerous other issues with the whole marketplace that could be solved by Roblox. First, developers do not have a clue when a plugin has an update available, and this can be extremely bad when a plugin is causing unexpected behavior, or the developer has added more features. I'm using another one of Eltobe's plugins as an example here to see why this is needed. One of their plugins, Reclass, is essentially a plugin that can turn an instance in Roblox Studio to a different instance class. For example, in my now discontinued plugin folder tool, there's an option to convert a model to a folder, and this is essentially what this plugin does, with a whole bunch of other stuff. Considering Roblox adds new instances regularly enough, this plugin needs to be constantly maintained to add new instance classes to be able to convert to and from. In a few of my plugins, and in other people's, we'd have a little notification notifying people that a new update is out, and to install it as soon as possible. Roblox basically screwed this up overnight though, since most of us were using a module that we would use the require function with to check a module to see whether the version number has changed. By using a require in a plugin meant that your plugin would not show in Roblox's discovery system, which is bad as it is, since some plugins may use this in a malicious way. There is an alternative to this, but it's much more inefficient in terms of network usage. Roblox should just be providing a solution as it is, by providing update notifications. I'm working on a feature request for plugins being able to send notifications as it is as well. All it must be is a simple notification saying something like 5 plugins have an update available, click here to review them. I want to move back onto paid plugins, and how it's ridiculously easy to pirate plugins. Whenever you download a plugin, Roblox Studio saves a little file on your computer with all the data for the plugin, usually less than a megabyte. This is used for a better overall experience, but the compromise is that it's incredibly easy to commit piracy. You could use something such as Plugin Importer to achieve the same result, but I'd rather show it the manual way. If we first open a game in Studio, and click the Plugins tab, then click the Plugins folder button, this'll display plugins that we've installed from places outside the marketplace. If we go up a folder, you will notice one folder that has a string of numbers, and this is your Roblox user ID. Click on it and look for the installed plugins folder. You should then see a lot of numbered folders. Each of these corresponds to a plugin's asset ID, and inside of them is the RBXM files which people can use to commit piracy. There's also HSON file which you can use to configure a plugin's saved settings. Thanks Roblox for the lack of security. Continuing the theme around paid plugins, we also need to note the community's reaction to paid plugins, which are sort of mixed. In fact, a fellow developer, Boat Bomber, made a post in July 2020 talking about this. That's almost 3 whole years, yet a few days ago from when I'm writing this, we're still seeing developers make posts on why Moon Animator now costs 1,700 Robux, and whether some plugins should be lowered in price. In fact, someone who I've sorta worked with in the past for an update to one of my plugins stated that charging over $10 was simply absurd, when if you saw the post Boat Bomber wrote earlier, we could see stuff that is 15 times that on the Unity Asset Store. Another one even effectively stated them as useless and Roblox's built-in tools are better. When we have plugins such as Event Blocks, which I covered a while ago, that cost just 100 Robux and effectively gives you a new programming language on Roblox, through block code. In fact, just as I'm writing this, I saw a post complaining that one of my plugins was paid, when I literally had a free version on GitHub. I don't think it's really that hard to download a simple file, place it in a folder and check for updates every so often, right? I would finally like to end this on the mistreatment of the marketplace by Roblox. You see, we have a private category where us who originally tested out plugins being paid access, as well as being discoverable in Studio I guess, where we can talk about the marketplace, and also quarterly meetings for developers to ask Roblox questions about the marketplace. I was never communicated about a quarterly meeting by Roblox whatsoever, and there hasn't been one since September, with Roblox promising that there will be one soon. But wait. There was also mentions of a Discord server for the program, although I don't have an account with them, when this was never communicated as being a thing. The only message I ever got from Roblox relating to the program was a staff member inviting me to it. They didn't mention anything about a Discord server or anything that I should join, and other members have confirmed this. Roblox, please get your act together, please. Communication is key. Thanks for watching this rant. I hope you managed to find this informative in some way. I would like to redirect you onto the Roblox category on itch.io. There's a few developers selling their stuff over there, and you can be rest assured that they are not paying any unfair fees. I'd also like to redirect you to the video Eltobe made about the whole situation, which I used an excerpt at the beginning here. It'll be in the cards above. Finally, I'd just like to say that I really hope this isn't in the same state like the last time I made a video on a Roblox development related thing. The talent hub is still a mess in my opinion, and the UX still isn't perfect. I hope they do something this time, since I'd imagine that some people rely on this money from selling plugins. If you can, leave a like and share it with others to help get this video to reach others. I'd also love to see your opinions on everything, but other than that,